Hi, my name's Craig. I'm the designer of TOPP RAX overhead garage storage. There's a lot of advertisements out there in magazines for overhead garage storage. It's a great way to organize your garage, but a lot of people think they're all the same. Well, we're here today to show you that there's a lot of difference between the designs of the racks, and we're going to show you the features of TOPP RAX that makes it the best built product on the market. The TOPP RAX has a C-channel frame with a 1-inch lip, by far the strongest frame. We have all 3 center tie supports. We have the triple wire deck sandwiched together, sitting on all parts of the frame, including the 4-foot frame, the way it's originally designed. And the decks are bolted down at all 4 corners on the rack. Here we're showing you the 3 types of boltless shelving frames that are available. The gray one is what's called a Z-frame. Z-frames are used that you can put the decking board on top and it actually sits down on that lip, so it's a little lower profile. Then the L-frame, probably the most common in boltless shelving. And the last one is the C-channel frame. It's got a bottom lip as well as the top lip, and this is by far the strongest frame, and that's what we use for TOPP RAX. The original design of boltless shelving was to have particle board on the top, and it sits on the side frame and the end frames all the way in the corner. That way it's supported on all parts of the frame. In keeping with the original engineering and design of boltless shelving, when we replace the wood with the steel deck, we place it right in the corner, and it sits on the 8-foot and 4-foot frames, all 4 sides equally, so the weight's distributed equally like the original engineering. Then we bolt it down to the frame so it can't move around. So the combination of the triple wire deck bolted to the frame makes it the strongest, most stable deck possible. What we've done here is we've set up 4 different frames that are used for overhead storage, and we put them on a rack basically standing on the ground so we could do a side-by-side comparison. Got the TOPP RAX here at the top. You've got a deck, pallet rack deck system that uses 3 separate decks. Here's another one that has 2 separate decks, and we've even seen some that use 4 separate decks. And then down here at the bottom is another product we found that uses a sheet metal board on the top rather than a wire grid. Without any center tie supports, this rack right here has no center tie supports. When you put the load on it, this beam, because there's nothing tying the top and bottom to the other side, will have movement and twisting. This one right here has 1 center tie support. It's an L frame, and this one by far has the most twisting under load. As you press down, this is going to twist out. The next one up is the C channel. Again, it's only got 1 center tie support, and this one can twist. As you put load down, the beam will twist. And with TOPP RAX, we have all 3 center tie supports, so there is no twisting. You can't twist that beam at all because it's tied to the other side, top and bottom of the frame. By far the strongest. This is the most common type of deck used on overhead storage. It actually just sits over the top, overhangs the front, and overhangs the back. A couple problems with that. One is when it's overhanging the back, it can damage the wall, because 95% of the time we mount these racks to the wall. As you can see on the pallet rack deck, this actually doesn't sit on the end 4-foot frame. Put weight on it, and the whole thing moves around. There's no support sitting on this frame. With TOPP RAX, we use a top-mounted deck that has a triple wire sandwich construction, making it really strong. And when you mount it to the top, it gives you a nice clean surface on the front, and it actually makes the frame really strong because they're bolted down in all 4 corners of the deck. But the TOPP RAX frame, there's no movement at all. Okay, what we've done now is we've taken all the racks apart and we've put together one of the racks, the one with the decking boards on it, put it on the ground here, and we're going to just walk across and do a little load test and see how it performs. As you can see where I'm standing right here now, this first one is starting to bow down. As soon as I put any weight on it, it's bowing down, and it's bent, and the next one's bent, and the next one's bent, and the next one's bent. I'm not going to continue, but obviously this is not a very strong rack. So now I'm standing on the L frame with 2 pallet rack decks on top, and as you can see down here where the deck doesn't touch the end frame, there's no support there at all. It just bows down. Not real good. Now here's where the channel support is. There's support there, but there's a little bit of bounce to it. It's not real strong. you get between the channel supports, you can see a lot more movement. Channel support's firm. Then you got the one center support. That's probably the strongest part of the frame right there. The weakest point of this type of a frame is right here between the center support and the end post. Is right on that edge. There's just not okay, now I'm standing on the third frame here. This is a C-channel frame, which is stronger than the L frame. And this one has the 3 decks on it rather than just the 2. Now immediately with the 3 decks, you can see they move around quite a bit because they're not attached. But as far as strength, the C-channel is a little stronger. Got a few more channel supports, a lot of flex between them. And of course it's still not standing on the end frame. So definitely stronger than the L frame, but don't like that movement. And I'm going to move over here to the edge, like I did on the other one, right between the frame supports, since they only use 1 tie support. Just flat. That's a C-channel frame with 1 tie support. This is the majority of what's sold out there, and it obviously doesn't hold up. Okay, we're on our last rack, which of course is the TOPP RAX. We put it on the floor here, and I'm going to walk around it, same as I did in the other one. As you can see right off the bat, I'm standing on the end frame, and because the deck sits on the end frame, none of the other ones did, very strong, no sag at all. Between the supports, very little sag. Very strong all the way across, it's supported in every place. That's one of the keys to this, is that the deck sits on the end frame here, where none of the other ones do. And over here on the edge, where they didn't have a cross tie support and they do, very strong. Okay, so we've completed some of our testing here, and kind of review once again. The TOPP RAX has a C-channel frame with a 1-inch lip, by far the strongest frame. We have all 3 center tie supports. We have the triple wire deck sandwiched together, sitting on all parts of the frame, including the 4-foot frame, the way it's originally designed. And the decks are bolted down at all 4 corners on the rack, making this by far the strongest rack on the market. And we hope we've given you some useful information so you can make a good buying decision. Thank you.